and we're delighted to have Lynagh, old Hamptonian, left last year, and Gwilym Bradley, old Hamptonian, who left last year, and Theo Johnson, current school rugby captain. And I'm going to hand straight over to Theo, who is going to do a little bit of an intro.
Yeah, so it's great to have Lewis and Gwil with us today. So I haven't talked to them for a while, I guess. So I'm going to be talking to them about their first year away from Hampton, a bit about their rugby careers, or the start of their rugby careers. To start off with, we just want to sort of find out a bit about what it was like when you two played against each other. When obviously Lewis was playing for England and Gwil for Wales.
No, it was quite cool actually, because when I got the email, we were at Roslyn Park Sevens, and when I got the England email, and I'm not sure when Gwil got it, but when we found out that we were actually playing against each other, it was quite special at the same and weird at the same time, because I'd wonder, well, is he going to try and hit me hard, or am I even going to come near him or something like that? But it's quite a mix of emotions. And then it was, when we actually did play, it was quite nice to see that Bogey and Nick came to watch, and as well as our parents and stuff like that. So it was quite cool, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, it's one of them where it's massive for yourself individually. So then when Lewis is there as well, and you're warming up and you look over the other side and he's there, and as you say, like, you're wondering whether you're going to sort of have any interactions in the game. And I'm thinking, if he hits me hard, like my
your career is going to go downhill with that.
My dignity is just shot. So, but no, it was good. I turned him over. Never forget that. Was a personal favourite.
I remember there's that clip where I hit your 15 from the wing, and every time I see the video of it, I see that it's you rucking over and you come in and just grab me and just try and throw me to the side, and I'm like, oh, right. It's like when we were warming up, it's like one of those ones where it's like when you play for school and you have a mate in the other school, you can't really take them seriously. Like in the game, if I like tackled Gwil and we were at the bottom of the ruck, like we'd probably just laugh at each other.
You want to tell us a bit about your first year in professional rugby, and kind of a bit about the journey towards that?
Do you want to go first, Gwil?
Yeah, can do. Yeah. So I mean, it started really. We'll start from that game, from the 19s game, and after that, I had Gethin Jenkins as the forwards coach for that squad, and he does the academy forwards at the Blues. So he knew me through that, and then he gave me a call just like in the summer of last year, saying that he was interested in getting me down to their A's, playing a few games, sort of August, September for the A's. And just to sort of see where that went, because he was, he liked what he saw or whatever. So I played 3 or 4 games for the Blues A in the Celtic Cup, and then after that, because of course I was at uni as well. I played week in, week out up till Christmas for the uni in the Super Rugby, and sort of it was around that sort of November, December time where he gave me a call and was offering me a contract. So I mean, that's sort of what you want as a rugby player. So because I was at uni, so I was like, well, obviously, I'd love to sign it, and I did, and so I'll start that next year. Moving up to Cardiff now after lockdown, and then go full time with the Blues.
Yeah, just on that. So you're at Bath doing your economics degree, and so you just did that up until Christmas, and have you continued it since, or is there a chance to go back to it, or what's the plan, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So because I don't want to just sort of leave uni and stop doing it. So I'm going to try and finish this year, pass my first year, and then I can suspend my studies, so it counts, and then I can go back whenever I want and continue at second year. So my first year will count, and I want to, obviously after rugby you need to have a plan. So ideally I want to try and get my degree eventually, hopefully from Bath.
Mine was a bit different. I've been at Queen's since I was like 14, and when I was in year 8 of my old school, they came and asked my coach, like, could you send 3 players to get a trial? And yeah, it was me and 2 others, and I was actually injured at that point, so I didn't actually get in at first, and then they let me in eventually. But yeah, been there since then. And then last year, I think it was around Christmas time last year, Tony Diprose called my dad, said if you could go and have a chat at the Stoop. And yeah, they basically said, we want you to sign with us on an academy deal. And this first year, it's been amazing. Like I've learned so many things from so many great players, like being around Chris Robshaw and Mike Brown, and like they're so different to what you see on TV, and they're just all round great people. And like people think that when you're not playing in a rugby team, like you're not learning that much, but at the same time, I've used this time to take things from other people to become a better player myself. So I've used this year a lot to learn and play a lot of A-League games like Gwilym has been doing with Cardiff Blues, and it's just getting used to that sort of level, playing with Richmond as well on loan. So it's just been a great year actually, and it's annoying that I had to end a bit early, but we'll see what happens next year as well.
Yeah.
What was it like doing Richmond? Because I'll probably be doing a similar thing next year with one of RFC, sort of training in the week with Quins, I'll be with the Blues, and then sort of in the evenings go and train and then play with the RFC. So what was it like with Richmond?
Yeah, I was really lucky because Richmond's where I started playing rugby. Like it was my home club, and I started playing rugby there when I was 4. So when my academy manager said, "Do you want to go on loan to Richmond?" I said definitely, because 1, it was close to home, and 2, I knew it was a great club to be at because they're at the top end of Nat 1. If you're like, due to injuries as well, like this year I was quite close to playing, but I wasn't like quite ready to take that step up. So it gave me confidence in myself, knowing that I'm performing really well in men's rugby, but at a slightly lower standard. Then it just makes you a better player, in my opinion.
With everything sort of up in the air because of lockdown, how are you guys sort of training? You keeping fit, running, anything?
I'm trying. And I imagine you are as well, Lewis, mate.
Yeah.
No, it's one of them. Like, obviously, I have a program through from the Blues with S&C and running and cycling and stuff. But obviously, everyone's got different equipment. Like, I was like a local gym lent me a few dumbbells and stuff, so I've got a bit of gym equipment here, but there's not a lot really. It's just one of them, like lots of press ups, lots of bodyweight squats, and just doing what you can. And because the coaches and everyone at the Blues and Quins will know that everyone's been in lockdown. There'll be no like pressure to be back in perfect shape.
We'll move on, I guess, to stuff about Hampton. So we'll kick off. What is your best rugby memory of Hampton?
It's got to be. I think it's got to be for me the Dulwich game, in the cup where we beat them in the last play of the game. I mean, it was one of my I always look back on the video I've watched the whole match back before, and having at least it's one of my dreams to have like a crowd there cheering for you when you're playing. And even though it was just the whole of sixth form, it was still something when we scored in the last minute. I mean, I remember I was standing out on the wing, or near the middle of the field, because I thought we were just going to get the ball out and do something there. And I just saw the maul split, and I was like, something's got to happen. And then I just saw James run, and I was like, what? No, I actually never seen it. It just seems so.
Watch that clip hundreds of times.
Yeah. I think Theo did all the work there, really, and just splitting them all.
I think I was off at that point.
You should have claimed that, Theo. You should have been like, yeah, definitely was there.
I'm being honest, so.
Yeah, I haven't felt that ever since. So I think, even though Gwilym wasn't playing, I mean, I'm sure you jumped into the pile at the end. So I mean, it's something that I really look back on with fondness.
Got an exciting one now.
There we go.
So I believe you've formulated, or Gwilym, you formulated an all-time Hampton pack, and Lewis, you've made all-time Hampton backline. So We'll start with Gwil.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this, I must admit. So I'll go through them and just say who they played for, shall I? And who they are basically. So we've got number 1, Alex Lumbo, of course, OH13.
Yeah.
He did England 20s and he played for Wasps and Bedford and he's now at Ealing. And we went for hooker, Alex Bidwell.
Yeah.
He quit ex-Queen's Academy and then Leeds University. Number 3, Alex Wood, OH11, I think. Is that right? He's
Mr. Clean.
God, you're testing me here. Do I need to have? I have to have the list out at the same time. So Alex Wood, here we go.
Alex
You
Wood,
said
yeah.
2011,
Yeah, he was Richmond. I think he played for Richmond a bit.
2012, close.
Oh,
2012, yeah.
Yeah, fine. And 4, on Fraser Wem, who did Scotland 18s.
Yeah.
Richmond as well, Newcastle Falcons, I think. And then
Yeah,
5,
OH 2010. There you go.
That's right, yeah. 5, we've gone Mr. Andy Beattie.
Snuck into your team.
He has, of course he has. England 18s, Bath, Exeter. 6, we've got Will Verdon, more recent, Irish Academy, played for Jesters as well. And then 7, we went, and there was a few for 7. We went Billy Harding. He played hooker like professionally or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I've played with him.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's a hooker for Scottish.
Yeah. I'm reliably informed he had a shift at 7 now and again. And then at 8 we've just gone VDM. Nick VDM from last year's 2 years ago captain. Solid number 8. You know.
Oh, that's a big
time
pack.
pack.
I've gone. I don't have the OH numbers.
That's all right,
for
yeah.
these guys, but for 9, I've gone Akira Takanaka.
Yeah.
So I remember he was a very good player. 10, I've gone Simon Amor. He played for England under 18. I've gone for 12 Ludi Hopkinson, who played for Bath and England age group level. 13 Seb Jewell, London Welsh when they were in the Prem. Then I went 14 Will Brown, Richmond and England age group. And then between 15 and 11, it can alternate between myself and Will Atfield. So we can kind of, because Will probably had a better boot than me when so if you want to play him at 15, if you wanted a kicking 15, but if you want one that ran it back, then put me there. But we can alternate a bit. But yeah, that's my back line. I'm not sure who the oldest there is. Probably Amor. But,
yeah, Amor's 97 as well. Yeah.
Very good back line in my opinion.
So Lewis, you picked yourself, but Gwil didn't pick himself.
Yeah.
The level of rugby that is played at Hampton, how's it prepared you for where you are now in terms of your rugby career? In the sense of, obviously it's a step up and the professionalism's there and the size and the quality of players, but in terms of the fixtures that are available when you're at Hampton, the training and all that, how did you feel kind of going into it?
I mean, for me, it's like, obviously I joined at lower 6, so before then I hadn't really experienced any kind of discipline like with rugby. Like I hadn't played week in week out before, like with analysing and gymming every week and recovering, and that wasn't. Being at Hampton, that absolutely taught me all that. And like without the schoolboy circuit, without being at Hampton, I know that I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have been taught it, and that I've taken a lot of it forward like this year.
Play against the top teams. Like every week we'll have a tough fixture, whether that be against Wellington or Dulwich or Cranley or Epsom. Like those are the top schools, and for us to be mentioned among them, it really prepared us well.
What are each of yours kind of hopes for the near future, for the next couple of years? What are your aims?
I mean, for me, like, so I hopefully for next season at least, I want to get a good set of games for Cardiff RFC, who play in the Welsh Prem, because that is a very physical. It's the top level of rugby in Wales domestically, and I mean that it's very physical. you'll get found, especially in the pack. You'll get found out, So I want to hopefully get a good run of games through with them, and then sort of next season, and then after that, eventually I want to try and hopefully get a debut for Blues at some point. Obviously, there's a lot between then and now of learning and developing and working hard, but I mean that's essentially the aim.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Like Will, he playing for Richmond in the Championship. Like, if it'd be a good stepping stone to see how I fare at that level, because even going from Nat 1 to Championship, it's a huge step up, because there's players who could be Prem players or have been Prem players, and you, like Will says, you get found out, and if you're performing well at that level, it gives you a huge confidence boost in training when you go back to your home club, and like Will, I think just keep on learning from the players at Quins to make myself a better player, and then hopefully push for a role in the first team.